Next on the news, 2 teens from Montclair are being accused of participating in an ISIS-inspired terror ring. One went to Catholic school for a period of time.
The president of Xavier High School here in Manhattan says the alleged crimes are diametrically opposed to all the school stands for. I'm Jessica Easthope. That story is next.
Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens is coming to the rescue, opening their food pantries to workers and citizens struggling during the government shutdown. They sound like a motorcycle gang, but the Sons of Thunder are actually trying to help Sons of God find their calling.
The idea of a group of all guys who share my faith was just like a really neat thing for me.
Plus, Christmas is coming to New York City. Literally, the famous Rockefeller Center Tree is making its way down to the Big Apple. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Authorities say he was headed to Syria to join ISIS. A 19-year-old from New Jersey was arrested at Newark Airport earlier this week after allegedly participating in a terror ring. Now, the Catholic school where he spent a brief period of time is speaking out, saying this violence is against everything they stand for. Currents News' Jessica Easthope is in Chelsea with the story.
Administrators here at Xavier High School say 19-year-old Tomas Khan Jimenez Guzel had no disciplinary record during his freshman year. He started in September 2021, and by September 2022, he had already transferred out of the school. It was a choice he made alone. Xavier's president, Jack Reslowski, said TK, as he was known by his fellow classmates and teachers, hadn't yet made a name for himself at Xavier.
He didn't fail out. He wasn't put out on disciplinary reasons. I don't know that you could ever expect people to take this turn, but you know, there was no reason to believe he was anything beyond a regular kid.
But according to federal authorities, infamy was what drove Jimenez Guzel to Newark Airport on Tuesday, November 4th, where he was arrested. They say he was there to board a flight to Turkey to visit family and then planned to travel to Syria to train with ISIS. Law enforcement alleges Jimenez Guzel hoped to carry out a Boston bombing-style attack and spoke in group chats about becoming, quote, one of the top 100 most evil people in the world. This photo allegedly shows Jimenez Guzel wearing tactical gear and holding a knife in front of an ISIS flag. Authorities say Jimenez Guzel was radicalized online while living at home with his parents in Montclair, New Jersey. His mother is a United Nations diplomat who advocates for women entrepreneurship and empowerment. During his time at Xavier, they attended the school's annual Mother-Son Mass.
He was Catholic when he arrived, right? Certainly what we're learning about stands in the starkest opposition to what the church stands for, or what Xavier stands for. There's no love of neighbor. There's no recognition of the inherent human dignity, and none of that's there.
Jimenez Guzel is facing federal charges, including attempted conspiracy and conspiracy to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Each carries a maximum of 20 years in prison and lifetime supervised release. In Chelsea, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
On Friday, Xavier High School remembered a dark night in world history. Every year, the Manhattan students mark the Kristallnacht, or Night of Broken Glass. On November 9th, 1938, mobs of people under Nazi orders carried out a riot against Jewish people, destroying 1,000 synagogues and 7,500 businesses and homes in Germany and Austria. The Night of Broken Glass is considered by some the beginning of the Holocaust, which is why the Catholic high school has vowed to never forget it.
We as an institution trying to send very clear messages, but really to be very good witnesses to holding sacred memory, right? The memory of those lost in the Holocaust, the memory of those suffering through Kristallnacht, but other sacred memories, right? That are beyond this, right? You know, we're planning now for the 25th anniversary of 9/11, right? That's a sacred memory, right? The sacred memory of those who were lost and of the response to that.
Xavier offers a Holocaust Studies program which looks to keep the memory of the Holocaust alive in the minds and hearts of the next generation. We now move to the latest on the government shutdown, which is disrupting air travel nationwide. The Federal Aviation Administration order to scale back flights took effect Friday morning, with 40 airports spanning more than 24 states, including New York, canceling more than 800 flights. To make matters worse, the Air Traffic Controllers Union says the industry is facing possible mass resignations as workers remain unpaid during the shutdown.
When you don't pay somebody for 37 days and say, hey, just keep showing up and do your best, people are going to have issues, and they're mounting daily.
The FAA said the reductions would start at 4% and ramp up to 10% by November 14th, impacting all commercial airlines. Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens hosted an emergency food pantry for federal workers this Friday. It's part of their commitment to offer food, mental health support, and case management to anyone suffering because of the shutdown. If that includes you and you missed the pantry this Friday, don't worry. CCBQ says all 60 of their food pantry locations in Brooklyn and Queens are open to anyone affected. No appointment required. To find one near you, just go to ccbq.org. You can also call 718-722-6001 for more information. In honor of National Vocations Awareness Week, we bring you a group of teens that may have an unusual name, but the Sons of Thunder are hoping to spark a boom in priestly vocations. Currents News' Jessica Easthope tells their story from Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
It's a frigid morning in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. The sun isn't up yet.
Lord, open my lips.
But at St. Bartholomew, the Apostle Church, these sons are starting their day with prayer.
The kind of feeling that you can let your guard down is just, it's really amazing.
Jack D'Angelo is new to the Sons of Thunder. Father Matthew Gonzalez, the parochial vicar at St. Bart's, founded the group last year. They live by 3 principles: faith, fraternity, and service.
The idea of a group of all guys who share my faith was just like a really neat thing for me.
If we want to see more vocations to the priesthood, we just have to start with relationship and encounter.
Sometimes that means winterizing their backyard garden and gathering the last of the harvest for the food pantry. And other times it looks like a game of pickup basketball before school. Oh! On and off the court, these teens are digging deep to see if discerning a call to the priesthood is for them. Lately, it's been on Stephen Badia Sanchez's mind.
This group has definitely enhanced that idea of becoming a priest, showing me all the layers of what it means to be a father, what it means to be a man.
In a country where, according to the official Catholic directory, just under 3,000 men are training to become diocesan priests nationwide, these 12 Sons of Thunder are gearing up for a possible boom in vocations.
Meeting young men where they're at, it's within that environment that I think vocations really flourish.
So what's with the name?
When people hear Sons of Thunder, they think, where are the motorcycles? Because James and John were so full of vigor, they wanted to call fire down on people.
And Jesus like, okay, let's calm it down there. They were given that name because of their passion.
Their motto is Feel the Spark. And Father Matt hopes that long after they leave the group, if the spark is still there,
there's as many vocation stories as there are people on this planet.
It will become a flame. In Scotch Plains, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
St. Joseph's Seminary and College is strengthening how it forms future priests. The Dunwoody School is establishing the Redemptor Hominis Center for Holistic Health, which will provide seminarians with services to address their mental, physical, and emotional needs. St. Joseph's is creating this center on their main campus in Yonkers thanks to a nearly $1 million grant from Lilly Endowment Incorporated, a private foundation supporting the causes of community development, education, and religion. Dean of Seminarians, Monsignor Luke Sweeney, says the center helps fulfill the school's mission.
This is a way for us to widen our human dimension of formation, but also to make sure that we're supporting integral human development, because a good humanity will serve as a wonderful bridge as a priest to draw people to Jesus Christ in and through his church, and will help bring the love of God to others.
Monsignor Sweeney says construction of the center will start in 2026, coinciding with the expansion of the school's gym. A soon-to-be graduate of St. Joseph's Seminary is one step closer to achieving his mission to bring God's word to the Diocese of Brooklyn. You can read all about Deacon Paul Zwolak in the latest edition of The Tablet. He was one of 4 men ordained a transitional deacon by Bishop Robert Brennan last weekend, which means he is one step closer to his priestly ordination. Read about his road so far and his journey ahead as he works to answer God's call. So don't forget to pick up The Tablet at your local church this weekend to read these amazing stories. You could also support The Tablet and Catholic journalism by becoming a member. You could do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. And if you're considering a vocation and looking for more information, just go to dioceseofbrooklyn.org/offices/vocations. It was a night of faith and culture in Coney Island as Catholic Migration Services held its 2025 Shining Star celebration. 21 people representing 17 apostolates throughout Brooklyn and Queens were honored with the Shining Star Award on Thursday for dedicating their time, talents, and faith to serving the diocese's immigrant community. Bishop Robert Brennan delivered the keynote address at Gargiulo's restaurant in Coney Island, where he said he was honored to stand with these shining stars. And finally tonight, the iconic Rockefeller Center Christmas Tree is on its way to New York City for the holiday season. The 75-foot-tall, 11-ton Norway spruce was cut down Thursday in East Greenbush, New York, and is already making its 150-mile journey to New York City, where it will arrive in the plaza on Saturday. After its arrival, the tree will light up the city with over 50,000 multicolored LED lights and will be crowned with a 9-foot, 900-pound Swarovski star covered in 3 million crystals. This year's tree, estimated to be about 75 years old, is being donated by the Russ family, who say having their spruce in the Big Apple is a huge honor.
Christmas is really special to us and our family. It's our favorite time of the year. I took my son down to the tree last year with some family and friends, so now we get to do that on a much grander scale this year. And I'm just really excited that we get to share our family tree with the world.
The tree will remain on display until mid-January and then will be milled into lumber for Habitat for Humanity. 'Tis the season. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.